So come to a seated position, lengthening your spine, letting your shoulders relax. Closing your eyes for a moment, bringing that attention inward and beginning to focus your attention on your breath. Inhaling and exhaling, allowing the breath to sort of relax your body, let go of any tension or stress from the day. Letting it slow your heart rate. Giving yourself over to the mat, over to your practice, maybe setting an intention for your practice if you'd like. Beginning to even out the breath, so each inhale is about as long as the exhale, or potentially the exhale is even longer than the inhale. But each inhale is about the same length of time. So your breath is steady, regular. Allow your head to drop forward, chin towards your chest. Feeling a stretch at the top of your back, base of your neck. And just roll your head from side to side, letting it go ear to shoulder on one side, ear to shoulder on the other side without pressing back. A few times, and then working your way back to center. And just turning your head side to side, over one shoulder, over the other shoulder. A few times, just loosening up the neck there. And working your way back to center. And slowly, in an exaggerated way, nodding it up and down as if to say yes. So dipping the chin towards the chest, and then looking up without thrusting the head back, just tilting the face upwards a few times. And again, working your way back to neutral. Head right in the center of your shoulders. Taking a deep inhale, extend the arms upwards. Tilt the face up, open your eyes, gazing towards the ceiling. Pressing your palms together, bring your hands down to your heart center. And then just bring the hands to the shoulders to roll the shoulders forwards a couple of times. And backwards a couple of times. Good. I thought we'd start with some Pilates today. We didn't do any Pilates last week because we're just did a pretty traditional vinyasa flow, but I thought we'd do some Pilates. So come to the top of your mat. We're going to start with rolling like a ball to kind of massage our spine. So if you have pain in your back, if you have osteoporosis in your spine, you don't want to roll. If you're pregnant, you don't want to roll. But otherwise, and if you have those things, you can usually just sit and balance, and that engages your abs this way. Otherwise, come to this seated position on your tailbone with your feet lifted off the mat, shoulders rolling down and away from the ears. So your spine is long and you're engaged here to balance. So you're not, totally relaxed, but try not to tense the shoulders up. And then in order to roll, you want to make a C. So you're going to tuck your chin towards your chest, exaggeratedly pull your belly button back, so your spine rounds over, roll to your shoulders, and then see if you can roll back up and not touch your feet to the floor. So do that a few times. See if you can roll down one vertebra at a time and roll back up one vertebra at a time so you're not going back flat, which can actually quite hurt if you hit the mat from tilting backwards. Couple more times. And then we're actually going to end up on our back, so go ahead and roll down and then just stop on your mat, hugging your knees to your chest, and give yourself a hug and a little rock from side to side. Bringing the knees up to tabletop, so knees are over hips. So if your feet press away, that's going to make it more challenging, that's fine. If you draw the knees closer to your body, that will make it a little easier, so it's up to you. Neutral would kind of be right here over the hips, where you have to engage your abs, but you're not working too hard. Move your arms just so they're out of the way. We're gonna do movement from side to side. So you're gonna inhale, and as you exhale, drop to either side, all the way as far as you can go, which might not be the floor. And then use the inhale, it will help you to lift up through center, and then roll to the other side. If you separate your legs, if one leg leads, then that tends to make it easier as well. So if this is hard or you're feeling this in your back, then let the top leg lead and the bottom leg follow, and it makes it a little bit easier. If you want to challenge yourself, keep the legs together. Exhaling to go to the side. Inhale will help. As you inhale, you can help lift those legs up. If that doesn't work and you like to use the exhale to lift the legs up, that's fine. But when you inhale, you bring air into that area, and it actually helps support your spine and kind of helps protect your back. And then whatever you get to your first side next, go ahead and just let the legs drop down and pause there. Turn your head and look over the opposite shoulder. Doesn't matter what side you do first. I like to put my hand on my thigh here to kind of pull it across, but whatever's comfortable. Breathing into the low back. And then lift your legs up through center over to the other side. Turn your head the opposite direction. Couple of deep breaths here. And making your way back to center. So we're going to do the leg stretch series. So single leg stretch all the way through crisscross. I will do it straight through without a break, but if at any point your neck needs a break, you can put your head down. You can also always bring one hand behind the head. You can modify this if your neck is really bothering you and prop yourself up on something, but if your head is down on the mat, it tends to not help your spine a whole lot. You want to have that lifted position. Otherwise, if you're fine, you're just going to stay lifted the whole time. So we're going to start with single leg stretch. So bringing the right knee into the body, extend the left leg. It can be straight up. As you lower down, it gets harder and harder and harder. You pick your level. Head and shoulders are lifted, elbows are wide. Right hand on the ankle, left hand below the knee. Inhale, squeeze that leg in. Exhale, switch. So you actively pull that leg in towards your body as the other one extends. So if you've been doing this for a while and this feels really stable and that champagne glass isn't wobbling at all on your belly, you can add some momentum to this. You actually can quickly pull the leg in, quickly switch. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. That's going to destabilize you, and your core has to work even harder to keep your body steady. If you're wobbling all over, bring it back more slowly. Finish on the opposite side from where you started. So right leg was in first, finish on the left, and then draw the right leg in to meet it so you're in a little ball. Take an inhale, exhale, tuck into that ball. Next inhale, arms straight up, legs up or out to challenge yourself. Wrap the arms around, give yourself a hug. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, so you're basically in a low boat here. Exhale. You can reach the arms overhead. I find it tends to pop the ribs out, so I recommend arms straight up. Challenge yourself by bringing your legs more out to the floor. Inhale, exhale. This time extend and hold it. So pull that belly button in, holding this Ardha Navasana. Legs extended, arms extended. And then bring the right leg in and catch it, holding calf, ankle, or thigh. Switch, left leg in. Inhale, switch. Trying to keep the legs straight so you get a nice dynamic hamstring stretch. This one as well. If you feel quite comfortable here and you've been doing this and you're nice and stable, you can add momentum. So you kick the leg in, kick and switch, kick and switch. But again, imagine that hot cup of coffee or something on your abdomen. You don't want to spill it. Keep absolutely stable. Finish on the left. And then bring both legs up. Bring the hands behind the head. Chin is towards chest, eyes looking at thighs. Flex your feet. Inhale as you lower the legs down. Don't let the back arch. When you reach your full extension, point the toes. Exhale, pull it back up. Flex the feet. Press down on the inhale. Point the toes. Pull them up to start. Notice when you come back up to the top that you're not lifting off the mat. You only go to 90 degrees And your bottom, your hips, your sit bone, everything stays on the mat. Keep the elbows wide so you're not crunching forward. One more time. And pull the legs back up. Keeping the head lifted, bend the knees back to tabletop for crisscross. Inhale, exhale to twist. Opposite elbow to the floor. Inhale to center. Exhale to twist. You're trying to bring your knee to your shoulder, so don't worry about touching your elbow to your knee. See if you can bypass it. See if you can bring the knee all the way to the shoulder. Exhaling on the twist to get more of a twist. And 3. And 2, pausing at center for that extra little bit of definition. The last one. And release that down. Bring your feet to the floor, press into the floor with your hands and with your feet, and lift up to a bridge. Taking a deep breath into your abdomen. Taking this a little higher, you can bring the hands under the body, pressing the hips up. If you want to get more of a stretch and you have the flexibility, you can bring your hands to your hips and press up even more. If that doesn't work for you, stay lower. And then release that all the way down. Hugging knees into your chest, rock yourself up to sit. Coming to tabletop here, so hands come to calves or to ankles, rolling shoulders down and back, sitting tall. So same as rolling like a ball, rolling in tabletop, and really focus on these legs that they don't kick and move around. Keep them absolutely stable, pull that belly button in, roll down to shoulder blades, roll back up to balance. Inhale, exhale to roll down. Inhale, exhale, to roll back up. Good, one more time, coming to balance. Extend one leg straight, as straight as you can make it. Bring that leg in. Extend the other leg straight. Bring that leg in. And come on over to your hands and knees into tabletop. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, exhale just a couple times through cow-cat to make sure that spine is nice and warmed up. Inhaling through cow, exhaling through cat. After your last exhale, really press up into cat, pushing the back away, pressing the hands into the mat, pulling the belly button in. And then flatten that out to a neutral spine. So pull your shoulder blades away from each other, pull that belly button in. So your back isn't completely flat, but you don't want to be dipping down. So you're thinking of lifting into that flat back position. Extend the right leg straight behind you. Try not to rock in your hips. Option to extend the left arm so you're balanced. And we're going to tap them both down. Lower down and lift up. Lower down and lift. So not moving the torso, just moving the limbs and trying to not arch the back. So you're just lifting to hip height for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, leave the leg where it is. Bring the arm out to the side. And now make circles with the leg, one direction for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse direction. Oh, I just kicked a candle. Good job, those aren't real candles. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I catch my little toes on fire. Place the left hand down, leave the right leg extended. We're going to do those scorpion push-ups. So we're hugging the elbows to the side as we lower down, chin towards the floor. Exhale, press back up. For 4, 3, 2, last one. Curl the toes under. Can you come to a plank with just that one leg lifted? And then pulse that leg up, up, up. You can always modify by just coming to a regular plank. If regular plank is too much, you can come to your knees. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press up, three-legged downward facing dog, keeping that right leg extended. Bend the knee, drop that right foot towards the left side, opening up the hip. Extend the leg, bend the knee. Extend and bend. For 4, for 3, 2, last one, back to center. Hinging forward, we'll do 6. So coming forward out over the hands, hover, and extend back up. Hinging forward, knee towards chest and hover, and extend back up. 4, inhale 3, inhale 2, last one, hold it here. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Extend the right leg high overhead. Press the left heel to the floor. Press the right heel away, lengthening the distance. And then bring that right foot all the way forward, planting it down, coming to your runner's lunge, pushing through the back heel. Again, always have the options for blocks here. You know you best. You want a long spine here. If you're hunching and rounding through your shoulders, it's best to have a block. Deep breath here. Release that back knee to the floor. Inhale, bringing the arms up, pressing forward, open your chest towards the sky. Inhaling and exhaling. Bring the hands to the heart, come back up on that back foot. And now rotate, twist, bringing left elbow against the right thigh, coming to a twist. Placing the hands back on the mat, squaring the foot. We're going to do push-ups. So you guys know I like to have my hands a little bit wider for push-ups, slightly turned in. Step the right foot back. You can do your push-ups from toes. I encourage you to drop to knees if you're struggling. There is no shame in that. We'll do 5 of them. Inhale to lower down. Exhale, press up. 4, 3, 2, last one. Drop down to the knees, coming back to hands and knees to tabletop. And again, a couple of cow cats, loosening up that spine. Again, I like to kind of really focus on the cat, pressing up, rounding that spine, arching, giving yourself a stretch. Those upper back muscles, at least on me, can get really sore. This is a nice stretch. And then come to neutral, belly button pulling in, shoulders down and away. Extend the left leg, pressing it away. Keeping the hips as even as possible. Doing your practice in front of a mirror, I think, is super helpful. If you have the capacity to do that in your at-home setup, extend the right arm out in front. Without catching your toes on fire on fake candles, dip it down and lift up. Leg and arm moving, lower down and lift. So you're moving the legs, but you're engaging your core to stay really stable. So this is where something's like on the small of your back and you don't want it moving. And 3, 2, last one, lift and hold, extend the arm away, leave the leg where it is, toe pointed, and make circles for 8, 7, 6, 5. So the whole hip is moving, the whole leg is moving rather in the hip, but they're relatively small circles. Back to center. And reverse that. 8, 7, 6. Again, you're using your core to stay stable through here. If your abs aren't engaged, you're going to be wobbling all over. If they are engaged, you'll feel it. Back to center. Place the right hand down. Scorpion push-ups. Dipping down, chest towards floor and up. Elbows are hugging the rib cage. And you just tilt. The leg doesn't move or kick. The back doesn't change positions. You just tilt to the floor and back up. Last one. Curl the toes under, pushing up to your plank. Again, feeling free to modify at any point. And pulse that leg up, up, up. Straight leg. I've got my foot flexed It just feels like it engages the glutes a little bit more, but don't be fussed too much about it. 3, 2, and 1. Push up. Downward facing dog, 3-legged. Bending the knee, dropping that foot to the opposite side. And extend, and bend. Extend, and bend. Stretching through the hamstring, engaging these muscles. Last 2. Last 1. Back to center, hinging forward for 6. So coming forward and hover. Exhale, kick back up. Inhale, hover. Exhale, kick back up. Good. That hover is important. It makes you engage for a second. Sometimes we forget to sit still for a moment and make those muscles do some work. And 2. Last 1. Hover and hold it. Extend the left leg up. Pressing to that standing split, pressing the right foot towards the floor. And then swing that left foot forward, coming to your runner's lunge on this side, pushing away with the right heel. Long spine. I was thinking, this is called a runner's lunge. You do want to feel like you could take off if you had to. So that's why sometimes the blocks are helpful, because if you're kind of bent over too much, you don't have that forward ability to just launch onto those feet. And equally, you're pushing away like you're trying to push them out away with that back foot to create some length there. Releasing the back knee on the floor. Rising up, hinging forward, opening the hip flexors, extending the arms, pulling the shoulders down and away, opening the chest towards the sky. Taking a deep breath. And then bringing hands to heart center, curling those toes under you, pressing up into a lunge, bringing the right elbow against the left thigh, coming to a twist, trying to keep those hands at heart center. Left shoulder towards the sky. And bring those hands to the mat, squaring off the foot, getting ready for 5 more push-ups. So stepping the left foot back, choosing to stay on toes or dropping to knees. Inhale down, exhale up. For 4, 3, 2, last 1. Bring those hands under your shoulders so you're in a plank position. Press back to downward facing dog. Make sure you're rolling shoulders down and away from the ears, not pressing in, hurting the shoulders. Inhale, coming out to plank. Exhale, press back. Inhale to plank. Exhale, press back. Last time, inhale to plank. Hug the elbows next to the body, lowering all the way down, chest coming to the floor first, never dipping the hips. Inhale, coming up to a baby cobra, shoulders rolling down away from the ears. Hug the elbows to the side. You can come up as high as you want without flaring out the elbows. So make sure you can pull the elbows in, contract the glutes to protect the low back. Lower that down, press your hands into the mat, push up and back, knees together, sitting back on your heels in Balasana. Take a breath into the back body, really reach those hands forward, lengthening through the spine, the back, stretching out the hips. Good, rising up onto hands and knees, curl the toes under, pushing up, downward facing dog. And then walking the hands towards the feet, letting the head hang over. Bend the knees, rolling yourself up, 1 vertebra at a time. Inhale, extending your arms up, gentle back bend, pressing the hips forward as you open the chest. And exhale, bringing hands to heart center. Good, inhale, coming down into chair. Sitting back, pulling the knees back over the ankles. Arms can extend, they can also just stay by your chest, by your heart. Pull the belly button in, trying to eliminate any curve in the low back. All right, we are going to come to eagle from here. So shift, and we'll start with the arm. So let's cross our left arm, bring your arms to your elbows bent, arms at 11. Cross left arm over right. You can hold shoulders, you can come palms back to back or palms front to front. Lift the shoulders, lift the elbows, press the hands away. From here, shift your weight into your left foot, wrap your right leg around. If you need it, you can kickstand it, you can wrap it part way around, or you can keep going all the way around. So we started low, and see if you can stay low. Chest is still lifting, still tall. Press the hands away to create that stretch in your back. Finding a point in front of you to focus on. We are going to transition this to a warrior 3 with the optional hand position of having your hands behind you in a reverse prayer. Okay, that's where we're going. You can modify as needed. So first I'm going to unwrap the leg and push it behind as I hinge forward. Find my stability, unwrap my arms and flip them behind to come to reverse prayer. You could also just bring hands to hips if that works better for you. Pushing that right heel away. We're going to step the left foot behind us, finding pyramid stance, so fairly close together feet. Hands are already where they need to be for pyramid. They can stay on the hips if that's where they are. Keeping the hips square, hinge forward. So imagine you're really kind of pulling your right hip forward and your left hip back as your chest hinges forward, bringing the back or the chest so it's parallel to the floor. So you're looking on the floor in front of you to keep that head in neutral. You're not craning up to look at the wall. Let your gaze come down so you're in a long line from your head down your spine to your hips. Deep inhale. Pressing both heels into the mat, getting a stretch of the hamstrings, and again, always pulling the left hip back, right hip forward, which is the opposite of what it probably wants to do. Good, bring yourself back up. Bring the hands in front of you, regular prayer. We're going to come up onto one foot again, right leg just simply lifted in front of us. We're launch onto that left foot, bring that right knee up, balancing here. Again, finding a point in front of you to focus on. We're engaging our abs to hold our leg in this position. We're going to do the same thing, this time extending our arms in front of us for warrior 3, and then we'll step back into a high lunge eventually. So pressing that foot back behind us, hinging forward, option to extend the arms this time, which makes it harder, especially if you're talking. Press that foot away, lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the arms. And when you're ready, step that foot back, coming to that high lunge. Taking an inhale, shoulders down and away from the ears, lifting through the chest, maybe beginning to open it to the sky. Transitioning to warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So that back foot plants, front knee stays bent, arms extend. Really engage your shoulder blades here. There's a difference between here, where I'm here, but my arms are kind of floppy and loose, and pulling the shoulder blades, engaging the arms, making those back muscles work. You can come as low as you want, as long as the knee doesn't track past the ankle and your body isn't hinging forward. We're nice and vertical. Good. Extending that front leg, coming to triangle. I have to step my feet closer together. Pressing, or hinging rather, reaching. I encourage you to let this arm free hang and not lay on anything as you bring the opposite arm up, pulling the abs in so that you're engaging them. Imagining you're pressed between 2 panes of glass. Trying to get rid of this curve here and the ribs. Those ribs love to stick out. See if you can pull them in. And then just cartwheel down towards the mat, bending the front knee as you do. Step the left foot back, finding plank. Holding plank. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to do vinyasa here, finding our way down, downward facing dog. So your option to drop to your knees or lower from toes. You can come all the way to the mat or chaturanga, then pressing up into your up dog, curling toes under, pressing back to down dog. Shake your head, yes. Make sure your spine's nice and loose. Maybe shake it, no. Good, then walking feet towards hands, let yourself hang over here and forward fold. Bending the knees, rising up into Utkatasana, chair pose. Sitting nice and low, chest lifting. Same thing other side, wrap left arm over right. No, scratch that, wrap right arm over left. You do the opposite this time. Lift the arms up, press the hands away. You should feel a stretch in your back. That's why we do that. If you notice, if you drop your elbows and let your hands go, you lose that stretch. If you lift the elbows and push the hands away, you should feel a really nice stretch, which is why we do it. And you can do it even if you're palm to palm or holding your shoulders. Shifting the weight to the right foot, wrap the left leg around. Say that 3 times fast. Stay low, focus in front of you. Keep pressing the hands away. You'll notice you forget sometimes. Same thing, we're going to transition this to Warrior 3 with that optional reverse prayer. So slowly unwrapping the legs, hinging forward, pushing that left foot away, transitioning the hands behind us. If reverse prayer doesn't work for you, just put hands on hips. Press the leg away, long spine, finding a spot in front of you to focus on the floor. Step that left foot back fairly close for pyramid. Feet on train tracks, all toes facing forward. As you hinge forward, remember, keep pulling the right hip back, the left hip forward to square them off. Lengthening through the spine. This should feel as though someone is gently pulling on that string in the crown of your head, which is why you're not looking up, because that's not where the crown of your head would be pulling. So it's gently pulling forward and someone else is gently pulling your hips away. So you're creating this traction, this stretch in your spine. Heels are on the floor, creating a stretch in your hamstrings. Your back oftentimes will be rounded. One thing that one instructor once said is, imagine you're trying to like pull, those who are wearing a sports bra or a t-shirt or tank top, imagine trying to pull it away so it's not touching the skin of your upper back. Like you're trying to pull your back away from your clothing. That tends to have you flatten out your back. Good, rising back up. Switching the hands to heart center. Launching up onto the right foot, left leg lifted. Finding your balance. Seeing if you can bring it right about to hip height. Coming into Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3, arms can extend. Being the most challenging, push that leg away, seeing if you can lengthen it. Belly button pulls in, back long. And then step that foot back, finding your high lunge. Nice deep bend in the front knee, chest opening towards the sky, which might start to create a back bend. Inhaling and exhaling. Transitioning Virabhadrasana 2. Pulling the shoulder blades together, lifting through the spine, deep bend in the knee. Some people really want to get super, super, super deep in their work. I mean, that's fine if that's what you want to do. I like to have a deep bend, but not like way, way deep. Try not to go past 90. And again, what tends to happen is hinging forward. I want you to try to keep that integrity of that vertical spine. So there's a counter in front of you. No one would know that something was going on down here with your legs. They see this top part of your body in a totally neutral position that you can look out over the front hand. And then straighten the front leg. If your legs are really far apart, walk them a little closer together. Hinging forward, releasing the right arm down, coming to Trikonasana. Again, trying to let this arm be free. That's where you have to turn on your abs. Which is why I say I think Pilates is a good complement to yoga, because you guys know how to turn on your abs because we've been using them. If you don't, it's real easy. Just hold onto your leg and hang out here, and there's no engagement going on anymore. Good, and press this up and just come down to the floor. Step that foot back, coming to plank. Belly button drawing in. Good, lower all the way down to the mat as slow as you can go. Elbows hugging the ribs, but go ahead and melt all the way down. Good. And lift yourself up, bringing those arms beside you in kind of that cactus position. And then see if you can lift your legs up. Bring the feet close together, squeezing the glutes. Extend the arms out, and then pull them back to that cactus. And extend and reach, and pull back. Legs stay stable, nice and lifted. Extend, and pull back. Extend. Inhale and exhale. Release that down. Turn your head to one side or the other. And just let your cheek rest on the mat for a moment. We're going to come to a forearm plank. So curl your toes under or come up to your knees and then press up into your forearm plank. Belly button pulling in. Palms can be flat. Sometimes they make fists. You can also bring your hands in towards one another, creating like a triangle. It creates a little more stability. Breathing in for 3, 2, 1. Coming to a side plank on your right. So pivoting the right arm in. Right leg can drop down, or you can keep that hip lifted. Extend the arm. Reach the arm overhead, so you're creating that long stretch. And one of my favorite oblique crunches, knee to elbow, for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Go ahead and drop down here. Bend the knees so your knees are coming out from your hips. Wrap the bottom arm around your waist. We're going to do those one arm side push-ups. So hand comes to the mat, right next to your shoulder. Keep those feet as much as possible on the floor. Mine tend to flop around a little bit. Press into that hand. Push yourself up for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Coming back to our low plank, so forearms on the mat. Pivot yourself around, lifting back up onto your plank. Bending the knees, drop them down, and squeeze up, down, and up. Keeping the rest of the body stable, just the knees bending and extending. And we're going to pivot to the other side. So pivot the left arm, coming to the left side plank, dropping to the knee if you need. Extend the arm up, reach it overhead, stretching through. Elbow to knee for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Pivoting back around. Oh, I lied. I almost forgot your push-up on the side. Come down onto your side. Bend your knees so your knees are coming out from hips. Wrap the left arm around your body. Hand next to your shoulders. And press up for 5, 4, 3. These ones are killer. 2, and 1. Now pivot back around and just come to your belly. Those ones are so tough. But when you do, you'll notice this kind of top back part of your tricep, kind of close to the armpit, is working. And that is a really hard area to target. And I noticed it flopping around, so I looked up exercises to do to target that. And that's the exercise. Okay, coming back down into your belly. Same thing we did a moment ago. So bring those arms up, lifting chest, pull the belly button in. You still want to engage your abs even when you're here. Engage the glutes so you can lift up your legs. Extend the arms out in front and pull them back. Extend and pull back. 3, 2, last one. Place the hands down, push yourself up and back, coming to child's pose, sitting on your heels. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Rising up, downward facing dog. Hands pressing into the mat, push up and back. Heels towards the mat, shoulders rolling down and away. Breathing in, Breathing out. Good, walk the hands back to the back of the mat, hanging over. Bend the knees, roll yourself all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Stepping with your, lifting your right leg up, balancing on your left like we did a few moments ago. Trying to stay tall. When I see myself, I often notice I'm hinging back when I do this. See if you can stay vertical. Not hinging forward, but not hinging backwards. Good. Extend the leg in front of you. Doesn't have to be as high as mine. Just see if you can extend and hold. And we're going to also step out into that high lunge, stepping that foot down. High lunge, and then come to a warrior one. So pivoting the back foot, keeping the chest facing forward, keeping the hips facing forward. Option to extend the arms up in your warrior one. Bringing the hands behind the back, clasping the hands together, pulling them down and back, opening the chest towards the sky, and then folding over into a humble warrior. Letting the head drop, letting the arms reach overhead. And pulling yourself back up, warrior one. Opening it out, warrior two. So chest orients away, gaze is over the front hand. Reverse your warrior, left arm reaches behind the back. Front arm reaches up, giving yourself a nice stretch through the side. And then cartwheel that down to the floor. Step that foot back, holding plank. Belly button in. So we're going to hold plank for a few seconds, and then we're just going to do normal chaturanga vinyasa to downward facing dog. But especially those of you that work in your chaturanga and don't go to the floor, it's really challenging after you've been holding plank. You can also just go all the way to the floor and come up to your cobra. You decide. Lowering down, chest, chin, and hips. Scooping up into your cobra or your up dog. Curling toes under. Pressing back, coming to down dog. Walking the hands back to the feet once again. Rounding up, rolling up, one vertebra at a time. Deep inhale. And exhale. Hands to heart. Lifting the left foot up, balancing on the right. Focusing on that point in front of you. Trying to get the leg parallel to the floor and keeping the body vertical. Extend that right or left leg rather. See if you can keep it lifted as much as you can. Both flexibility and strength are at play. Everyone's going to be different. Step the foot forward, coming to lunge, and then transitioning that lunge to a warrior one. Hips pull forward. Arms can extend, but of course they don't have to. They can stay at heart center. So I don't bend my front knee a whole lot in my warrior, because if I bend my front knee, my hips start to really rotate. But yours might not. You might be able to go nice and deep and keep your hips forward. Especially on this side, it just doesn't work for me. Bring the hands behind the back, clasp the hands together, hinging forward into that humble warrior. Pulling the hands back, rising back up, opening that out to your Virabhadrasana 2. Reversing the warrior, right arm behind the back, left arm reaches up. Oh, enjoy that side body stretch. And cartwheel that down to the mat, stepping back, holding plank. I know y'all love it when I hold plank like this. It's like your favorite. You're like, please let us hold plank longer. 30 seconds isn't enough. Let's do 5 minutes. And chaturanga vinyasa. Back to your downward facing dog. I am going to give you, because I think some of us liked it, the option here to come into Shirshasana, headstand again, or varying other things in between. So if you need a break, just come to child's pose. If you're happy here in down dog, stay in down dog. If you want, come onto your forearms, coming into dolphin, and you could just stay here. Or if you want, you could bring those hands behind your head, place the crown of your head on the floor, walking those feet in. This is actually rabbit pose, I believe, and you can just stay here. Or if any of you want, you can start to work on any version. So you could just tuck into a ball and stay here if you're working on more of a headstand. And again, if you want to just move over to the wall for a moment and do this against the wall, you come to here with knees up. You can do that too. We won't stay here for ages, but hopefully you have a wall that, isn't too far away. And if you want to come up for 30 seconds, you can do that. Equally, you can stay in any of those positions we were before. If you're doing headstand, really make sure you're on the top of your head, the crown of your head. It makes such a difference in not hurting your neck and also ability to balance. Just like when we're balancing standing, find a point to focus on, stare into that point. And if you're on the wall, just start to work, bringing one foot off the wall, bringing the other foot off the wall. Squeeze your glutes, engage your abs. Squeeze your legs as if you have a tennis ball between your thighs. That helps engage. And then come on down, everybody. Whatever you were doing, come to child's pose. Is anyone else sweating? I am sweating. I'm going to bring my hands beside my body because I think that feels really good. If that feels good for you, you can do that. And just breathe for a moment. Maybe just rock your head side to side. Make sure it's loose, especially if you were in a headstand. And go ahead and bring yourself up. Take a deep inhale. So you're just sitting on your knees here. Let one arm come down to the side and give yourself a little side bend. That direction. Lift up and over. Give yourself a side bend. The other direction. Good. Lifting up and over. Tilt your head down to one side. Reach the opposite arm out away. So if you've dropped your head to the right, reach the left arm out. And then bring that right hand to your temple and just give yourself a stretch through the neck. If any of this is too deep, you don't need to use any of the hand positions. You could just drop your ear towards your neck. And lift that through center. Release it to the other side. Opposite arm extends. So we're not tugging, we're just letting the weight here bring you down. Breathing into that. Good, release that. Drop your head down, chin towards chest. Bring the hands behind the body, clasp them together and pull the shoulder blades together as you lift up, bringing the gaze towards the sky. Good, and release that. Awesome. Hope everyone's feeling splendid. All right. So bring those legs out from under you. Sitting up. We're going to end with, you can call it Navasana, boat pose, or we'll do teaser, which is Pilates, which is boat pose with movement. So first thing, hinge backwards, chest is lifted, belly is in, arms extend. Really stay lifted through here. Chin towards chest, so it's not tilting up. That's not great. Bring it here. Lift those legs up. So your option, we're just going to do 3 of these, but your option is to do all of them with legs bent and tabletop, all of them with legs straight, so you're coming from Navasana, or do one in tabletop, and if that works for you, you can go ahead and do the others with straight legs. You decide. So we're doing teaser. So remember, this is our starting and ending position. Here. We come down to the mat. The legs stay here as we roll down, tap our shoulders to the mat, and then come back up. So again, you pick your leg position. The most modified is feet on the floor, okay? So it could be 1, 2, or 3. Inhale, lower down, shoulder blades tap. Exhale, pull back up. Inhale, exhale, lower down. Inhale, exhale, pull back up. Last time, inhale, exhale, lower down. Inhale, exhale, pull back up. And just hold wherever you are in your version of Navasana. Holding for 3, for 2. Last one, lower down, hug the knees into the chest, and give yourself a rock. Nicely done. Place the left foot on the floor, cross the right ankle over the thigh. Press that right knee away so you're opening up through the hip. Draw the left leg into the body, pushing that right thigh away. Good. Let the left foot come down. Cross the right leg all the way over the left. Shift to the right so your left hip is on the mat, and then drop your knees down. And then extend the arms and turn and look over the right shoulder. And as always with the spinal twist, if this leg position doesn't work for you, just find one that does. You can just untangle them and have them stacked. Take a couple breaths here. And bring those legs back to center. You're probably a bit crooked on the mat, so center yourself again. And cross that left ankle over the right. Push the left hip away. Taking long, deep inhales and exhales through your nose, starting to slow that breathing down. Lift that right leg up. Push the left knee away. Place the left foot down, cross the left, or the right foot down, cross the left over it. Shift so you're on your right hip. Allow your knees to drop to the right, extend the arms, and turn and look over your left shoulder. Trying to bring that left shoulder to the mat. So if that doesn't work, it might be a good idea to uncross the legs. And roll that back to center once again. Shift so you're back in the center of your mat, coming to happy baby. Pressing those thighs away, flexing the feet, keeping your sacrum on the mat. And then extend both legs. Stretch your arms up overhead, give yourself a big stretch. Lengthening all the way through, and then bring those arms down by your side. Palms face up, take a deep inhale. Open your mouth and let it go. And just relax in your Savasana. Breathing in gently, inhaling and exhaling. Every exhale allowing you to release a little bit more. Allow your breath to slow, be steady. And if your mind wanders, just gently bring it back. Just focus on the breath. Imagine watching the breath draw in and out. Allow your gaze to rest on the backs of your eyelids. Just enjoying this moment of stillness. Your only job right now is to breathe. And again, begin to lengthen your breath. Imagine every breath begins to re-energize you. Imagine the breath as a light. As you inhale, see that light go all the way through your face and your head, going down your neck, your shoulders, and all the way down your arms, spiraling around your torso and then down your legs. So you're energized with a beautiful, light, peaceful energy. And allow that to reawaken you, wiggling your fingers and toes, rolling your wrists and ankles, rolling your head from side to side. And slowly drawing your knees towards you, let yourself roll to one side. Pausing where you are, thanking yourself for your practice, enjoying that quiet moment, that comfortable fetal position, feeling safe, feeling protected. And then working your way up, finding a comfortable seated position, arms resting in the lap. Sitting tall, shoulders down away from the ears. So your muscles are supporting you here, so you're not slouching. But there's no tension, there's no stress. Release the neck, the jaw, the lips. Notice if you're furrowing the brow and let it go. Release the temples and the crown of the head. Once again, allowing the eyes to rest against the backs of the eyelids. Watching the breath in and out. And bringing the palms together in front of you, pressing them palm to palm, thumb to the heart chakra at your solar plexus. Take a deep inhale together and exhale, let it go. One more time. Light in me acknowledges and honors the light in you. Om Shanti Om. Namaste.